Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidparam Manojavam Marudhatulya Begam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagya Vruddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Gridau Vande Bhagavantau Punaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Dharmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Satchitanandarupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Pano Mahasayaka Charuchapam Namami Ramam Raghuvamshanatham Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. So far we have seen up to 15th chapter. Now we shall see today the following 3 chapters. So 16th, as we said, the teaching part, the Vedanta part of teaching, Bhagavan is concluded in the 15th chapter. Now we may wonder why Bhagavan added 3 more chapters. So 16th chapter and 17th chapter. So in the last portion of Bhagavad Gita, we call it a Charama Shatkam. Lord Krishna mainly dealt with Atma Vidya in the 13th, 14th and 15th chapters. Having dealt with the Atma Vidya now, in the following chapters, 16th and 17th, Lord wants to convey an important idea, that a person's lifestyle should be adjusted in such a way that self-knowledge can be received by the person without any obstacles. According to Vedas and the Lord, the very lifestyle has got a great significance in receiving the knowledge and capacity to retain the knowledge. Like a particular plant can grow only at certain climatic condition or soil. The same way, only in a Vedanta friendly lifestyle, the knowledge can take place. Therefore, the way of life is as important as the committed study of scriptures. When you study the other material science like physics or chemistry, your result has nothing to do with your way of life. A person can be absolutely immoral, but he can get #1 rank in the university. There is no connection between the knowledge and lifestyle as far as material science is concerned. But when it comes to spiritual knowledge, the very way of life plays an important role. We cannot ignore that aspect. That is why in the Veda Purva Bhaga, there is a lifestyle prescribed. Vedanta deals with Vedanta Shastra, and one is called Dharma Shastra and another is called Brahma Shastra. In the 16th and 17th chapters, Lord Krishna is concentrating on the way of life. In the 16th chapter, Lord points out Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya. For moksha, one should develop divine qualities. And for bondage, demonic qualities, which we don't have to develop. It is already there. Now, 16th chapter, Devasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. This good and evil remain in everyone's heart. The difference is one recognizes it and the other boasts about it. A person was passing by a village. He asked, "Hey Vipra, Asmin Nagare Mahan Kaha." Who is a big man in this Nagara, in this city, in this place? Then the answer was given, Taladrumanam Mahaha. Palm trees are big. No, I am not asking that. Ko Dhataha. Who is a large-hearted person? The answer was given, washerman. Why? Because Vastram Pradar Grihitva Nishid Dadati. He takes the cloth in the morning and he returns it by evening. Therefore, he is called large-hearted person. Ko Vidwan Paravitta Vanjana Vidau Sarvepi Vidvajanaha. For cheating, everyone is wise. Then how do you live in such a place? Vishakrimi Jnayena Jivamyaham. A worm born in a poison will have no effect of poison. So I am also one of them, he says. Now this is the nature of Rakshasa Vritti. First few verses, divine qualities given, and afterward the whole chapter is talking about Asuri Sampatti. Now Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi
Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi
Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi
Danam Damascha Yajnascha
Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha
Swadhyayastapa Arjavam
Swadhyayastapa Ajavam. Bhagavan said, fearlessness, abhayam, is the first quality of divine person. Then purity of heart, sattva samshuddhi, pure heart. Noble thoughts, always think about good about people. There is no negativity in him. Jnana yogena samstitihi, steadfastness in yoga of knowledge, Jnana marga. So consistent study of scriptures, etc., that he loves. Then dhanam, charitable nature. Then damascha, self-control. Yajnascha, conduct yajnas, rituals, etc., or the sponsor yajnas. And swadhyayaha tapa arjavam. And he study our scriptures on a daily basis. And he is a austere person and straightforward also, arjavam. You can judge him by the look, no layers of personality. If you have these qualities, then you are fearless, endowed with divine qualities. Now the fourth one, opposite of this.
Ahimsa.
Clear.
Second one irukku.
Huh?
Second one or fourth one?
Irka.
Second one is Ahimsa satyamakrotah.
Ahimsa satyamakrodhah.
Tyagashantirapayshunam. Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam. Mardavam hrirachapalam.
Ahimsa, non-violence. This non-violence also is three level: physical level, mental level, intellectual level. Physical level, without himsa, living is difficult. Even if you walk on the road, you will be stepping on some insect or something, that is difficult. But mental level and intellectual level practice of ahimsa is more important than physical level. So mental level, hurting people with our words, that part we will talk about in the 17th chapter. So there is a vak tapas and manasam tapas, at that time I will tell you. Now an intellectual level also, when somebody gives you an idea, don't immediately condemn it. What a foolish idea you gave. No, don't say. Appreciate that person. And then slowly show him. So this is how ahimsa to be practiced. Then ahimsa satyam, speaking truth. Satyam akrotaha, free from anger. Tyagaha, renunciation. Shanti, a mental peace. So the mental peace is possible only when you have followed some of these values. Apaishunam, no vakratva, crookedness. Daya, bhuteshu, and compassion towards all living being. Aloluptvam, there is no what you call greed. Mardavam, softness, gentleness. Hrirachapalam, not means shyness in doing wrong thing. Achapalam, no the what you call weakness. So these are the divine qualities.
Tejakshama-dhriti shaucham.
Tejakshama-dhriti shaucham.
Adroho natimanita. Bhavanti sampadam daivim. Abhijatasya bharata.
Abhijatasya bharata. Tejaha, splendor. Kshama. That kshama is a very beautiful quality. Virasya lakshanam, it is said. You should be able to forgive and forget Even if that person has made a mistake, but you should have that ability to forgive. Like that requires love for people. It is like a mother forgives the child. Even if the child make a mistake, even if the child insult the mother, mother will never consider it is an insult, but that because of her overwhelming love for the child. So unless you have full of love in your heart, you will not be able to forgive others. This is one of the most beautiful qualities. Even you are able to forgive, that you will not carry a lot of skeleton in your conscience. Dhriti, again that ability to, the perseverance, that ability to pursue a particular path consistently without getting discouraged. Shaucham, purity of heart, purity of my person also, physical, and antasuchi, bahya sujiyo. Adrohaha, and one who never think of hurting others. Na atimanitaha, he is not over proud of himself, over exaggerated opinion about himself. Bhavanti sampatam devim abhijadasya bharata. These are the Daivi qualities. Now comes the opposite. Dambho darpo.
दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च
Dambho darpotimanascha.
क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च
Krodha parushyameva cha.
अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थः सम्पदमासुरीम्.
Dambaha means hypocrisy. Advertise about his charity in the fundraising and all that. 10,000 likh do, say 10,000 you write. What? Anonymously. And then afterwards you cannot find that person. So this kind of the attitude is called dambaha. Darpaha, arrogance. And they will show that, my daughter's, only daughter's wedding, how many people came, I don't know, 2,000 people came. So this is called darpaha. Atimanascha, self-conceit. Krodhaha, anger. Parushyam, harshness. And ignorance, ajnanam, chapijatasya partha sambadamasurim. All this belongs to demonic nature. So this is called, in sakshara, it means what? Educated. So sakshara purusha means educated person. Then the opposite is what? Rakshasa. So, a person who is educated, if he doesn't behave like an educated person, is considered Rakshasa. So, don't think the Rakshasa has got a horns and tail and all that. Even coated, suited person also can be a Rakshasa here. Now, continuing, Devi.
दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय
Daivim sampat vimokshaya
निबन्धाया सुरीमता माशु च सम्पदं दैवीम्
machucha sampatam daivim
अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव
Daivim sampat vimokshaya. So if you develop these divine qualities, it will take you to moksha, vimokshaya. And nibandha yasuri mataha. The demonic qualities you develop, it will lead you to bondage and samsara. And when Bhagavan said that, Arjuna was looking at Krishna. He was thinking, Bhagavan, am I belong to that category or this category? So Bhagavan is consoling immediately. Ma shuchaha sampatam devim apijatosi pandava. Ma shucha pandava. Don't worry, Arjuna. You belong to, you are born with divine qualities. Bhagavan consoled Arjuna. Then the 15th one is there.
Adhyo bijanavaanasmi konyosti sadrisho maya yakshye dasyami modishya ityajnana vimohitaah.
Adhyobhi abhijanavan asmi. I am rich and well born in a high family. एक बड़ा खानदान के में कोन्योस्ति सदृशो maya. Who is equal to me in this city or in this country? Then yakshe dasyami modishya. You know, I tell you, all the sannyasis, swamis, they are all in my pocket. I can buy them. Even Bhagavan is also in my pocket. So I have reserved a special seat in heaven for me. This kind of talk. You must have heard all these talks in the parties, okay? These are all party talk. Yakshe dashyami modishya ityajnana vimohidaha. These are due to ignorance. These are all expression of total ignorance. And these are all asuri sampatti. Then Bhagavan says, Trividham narakasyetam.
Trividham narakasyedam
Trividham narakasyetam.
Dwaram nashanamaatmanah
Dwaram nasanamatmanah.
Kama krodhastatha lobhah Tasmadetatrayam tyajet.
Bhagavan says there are three gateways are there to heaven. Threefold is the gateway to hell. It is not that hell has three gates, okay? You can reach there by these three methods. One is kama, then another is krodha, then third one is lobha. Kama, krodha, lobha. It is our own destruction. Now you don't have to go to hell. It will give you hell in this life itself. In this life itself, it will give you hell. Therefore, one should tasmat etatrayam tejet. This is advice Bhagavan gave. One should give up this. As I was telling you, there are desires that are born with you because of your samskara. You have no choice about it. But when it comes, pray to the Lord. If it is good for me, it should happen. If it does not, it's not good for me, let it not happen. So leave it to Bhagavan. Then with that attitude, if you remain, it will not have a grip over you. Otherwise, it will have a grip over you. It will take you to destruction. Therefore, Bhagavan concludes that 16th chapter, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante.
तस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तम् कर्म कर्तुमिहार्हसि.
Tasmat, therefore. Now a question comes, I don't know what is good, what is bad, and what is my dharma, what is my adharma, I do not know. So Bhagavan says, use the Shastram Pramanante, follow Shastra. Shastra be your guide about it, about what is to be done and what is not to be done. Having known the commandment of the scriptures, you should act here accordingly. Not like we follow the traffic rules. While driving, if you follow the traffic rule, chances are there you will reach home safely, and not only you reach home, others also will reach home. So to here for our life, this particular car, that is this sophisticated equipment Bhagavan has given to us, this physical body, the most sophisticated equipment, highly advanced technology is there. Now this vehicle, if we have to drive in the roads of life, we have to know the traffic rules. And that is given in our Shastra, and that Shastra we should study. It is something like an instruction manual Bhagavan has sent along with the creation. That suppose you buy a small little radio, an instruction manual come. One side English, another side Spanish, these two language. And instructions also there, drawings will be there, what are the parts, etc. is given. And they will tell you also, you should put our battery, then only it will work. That also is there. So the same way, this equipment Bhagavan has produced, and you think that he has forgotten given manual, he has given an instruction manual, that is called our Vedas. And you have to study it before we start operating it. But then you say, Swamiji, it is all written in Sanskritam, we don't know Sanskritam. Sanskritam is a dead language. No, it is a very alive language, I tell you. It actually in foreign countries is more practiced. In Germany, in England also, it is a school who teaches Sanskrit there. And India now slowly started awakening. People are becoming aware of it. So, this Shastra. Now, this particular conclusion of Bhagavan raised a question in Arjuna's mind. So, that is the motivation of the 17th chapter. Arjuna felt that everybody is not familiar with Shastra. Not all of them know Shastra. And the rituals now, Shastra, there are so many do's and don'ts are there. Dharma Shastra is there. Now people won't know because they don't have the capacity to study Shastra, which is already written in English, Sanskritam. So therefore, a person who doesn't know Shastra, but he has got Shraddha, faith is there, and he perform rituals like puja, etc. if he perform rituals. So what category it belongs to? See, sometimes everybody in their life, they have certain tradition they follow. At home, some grandmother or grandfather has given certain instruction. This is the way we do puja, etc. at home. And that tradition is handed over. And we follow blindly that. That may not be according to the Shastra. Suppose a pujari or a panditji comes and look at your way of doing puja, he will get surprised. And so they will say, this is not the way to do puja and all that. If they say, you get disturbed also. It reminds me of a joke. One Mahatma was living in the Himalayas, and he was doing puja. And while doing puja, he used to keep all the puja dravya. And one cat used to come and smell it. So in order to avoid that, he used to tie the cat before performing the puja. Now afterwards, this became a tradition for him, tying the cat before the puja. Now what happened is his disciple, after he died away, his disciple, when they wanted to continue puja, they were looking for a cat. So unless they tie a cat, they cannot do puja. Why? What for he tied the cat? They forgot that part. But only that tradition. This is how so much of in our culture, so many things are added unnecessarily. These are called non-essentials. And we think that is religion, that is our tradition, etc. It is not. We should understand the origin of it. Then we reason it out, then we know that it is meaningless in our modern time. So some of them we have to know where to edit, where to accept, etc. So Arjuna's question is very beautiful. So a person who doesn't know the sampradaya, and because the tradition, because he has not studied Shastra, because there is a Shiksha, Kalpam, Vyakaranam, Ityadi. Kalpam is there. Kalpam is the one that teaches you the sampradaya of pujas, where what is Purva, Apara, what is to be done first, and then what is to be done next, and then what is the conclusion, that is what is Punah Puja. All those tradition, it is given in the Kalpa Shastra. So that one has not studied, though Arjuna says not everyone knows Shastra, but he has faith in the puja. Without following Shastra, if a person performs worship with faith, which category he belongs to? Sattva, his puja is considered Sattvic puja, Rajasic puja or Tamasic puja.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Trividha bhavati shraddha Dehinam sa svabhavaja Satviki rajasi chaiva Tamasi cheti tam shrunu
Trivita bhavati shraddha. Threefold is the faith. Dehinam sa swabhavaja. Swabhavaja means born of their inherent nature. Each one has, we are born with certain vasanas. According to the nature of vasana, their shraddha is different. Sometimes somebody has got sattvic shraddha, rajasic shraddha, tamasic shraddha, faith. So, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic shraddha. Now, Bhagavan, it is a general statement Bhagavan made. Now, Bhagavan is giving you an example. Next one.
Aharastvapi sa...
Ejante sattvika devan. It's not there? No. Ejante sattvika devan yaksha rakshamsi rajasaha pretan bhudaganancha anye ejante tamasa vrdaha. So, it says, Ejante sattvika devan. Sattvic shraddha, people who have got sattvic shraddha, what they will do is they worship devatas, gods, sattvic devatas. You know, our all sattvic devatas are all very well dressed, looking nice, healthy, smiling all the time, like Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, and what you call Brahmaji, and our Hanumanji, all those things, they're all very sattvic looking gods, sattvic devatas. Then Rajasic type of people, what they do is, devatas, the Raksha Rakshamsi Rajasa. Rajasic type of people worship that type of devata, Yaksha Rakshamsi, like what the Vaishravana, you know, the Kubera. Kubera is called Yaksharaksha. So he is a Raksharaja. Yaksharaja is considered the treasurer for gods. So I remember when I was going to Chardham Yatra, at that time from Madras, somebody gave me a gold coin. And he said, I thought he is giving me donation so that, you know, I can help for the journey. And then he said, no, it is for you to take it. There is a Kubera temple in what you call Badrinath. There is a Kubera temple. Swamiji, you keep it under his feet and take it and bring it back to me. They have this particular Shraddha. And Lakshmi. Lakshmi ji also stands for Rajas. So Rajas means the money. So she also is give you sattvic values, but when you approach her with money, etc., then it is Rajasic. Then there are the tamasic people, Preta Bhuta Gananchanye Ejante Tamasa Janaha. Now controlling the ghost and spirit. There are some group are there, they go to Smashan in the middle of the night, especially dark fortnight, they go with a skull in hand. Then they chant this Tam, Tum, Team, all that kind of mantras they chant, and that propitiating the spirit, etc. And those kind of people, their Shraddha is called Tamasic Shraddha. So, different worship. You can see the Swabhava, according to each one's Swabhava, what type of book you read, what type of company you keep, what type of party you go, and in the party, what type of conversation will be there. All these determine your Shraddha. You can observe it, not that you have to condemn people. Bhagavan is not telling good or bad here. He is just telling you, enumerating these things. These are the nature. Those with sattvic faith worship gods. Those with rajasic faith worship supernatural forces like supernatural forces, Indra, Varuna, Ityadi. They are. Those with tamasic faith worship ancestral spirits and ghosts. I remember, in some time before, these people used to have a particular program. They can call a spirit and ask questions. And it happened in Taiwan. This lady called a spirit and asked a question, and the questions were answered. Then she didn't know how to send him back, And the spirit started staying there, and she got scared afterwards. She didn't know what to do. Then she went to somebody and then got some help. So that is the problem. Then afterwards, now in 17th chapter, Bhagavan is going to deal with 4 topics. The first topic is the food. Food also 3 types. Sattvic food, Rajasic food, Tamasic food. This we all know. Then Bhagavan talk about tapas. Then Yajna. Yajna also 3 types, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, Yajna. Then tapas also, tapas it divides into shariram tapas, vak tapas, manasam tapas. Then the fourth topic is dhanam. Dhanam also sattvic dhanam, rajasic dhanam, tamasic dhanam. So this is how he divides the whole topic. Now first one is ahara.
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य
त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः
त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः
यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानम् तेषां वेदमिमं शृणु.
Yeah, food also is of three types. Sacrifice, austerity and charity are also threefold. Now what is sattvic food? Ayus sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasyaha snigdaha stira hridyaha ahara sattvika priyaha. You have it? No, okay. So, ayus sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha. It is not there. Okay. So, sattvic food, simple way of looking at it, freshly cooked vegetarian food is called sattvic food. Sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha. And Bhagavan says, after eating it, you should feel comfortable. Sukha priti vivardhana. Not that, Ghoshayatra going in the stomach. Not like that. And, ooh, etc. sound comes, That is not called sattvic type of food. Rasyaha, snigdaha, stiraha, hridyaha. And it should be juicy and not too oily. And at the same time, look also should be pleasing. It is not that, char-broiled and all that kind of things. And it should be pleasant. Such food is called sattvic food. And when your mind, it is not that if you eat that food, your mind become sattvic. See, there is a portion in Chandogya Upanishad. It is said that the food that we eat, first that gross portion will go into the makeup of our taste. So gross part will go for the taste. Tongue, pleasing the tongue. Then the middle part of the food will go into the makeup of our body. That is, vitamins, etc. will go for the nourishment of the body. Then there is a third part which is called subtle part. The subtle part of the food goes into the makeup of our mind. And this is very important. That is why how you cook the food, with what attitude you cook the food, that all go into the food. Otherwise, sometimes you get angry and curse the whole family and dynasty, and then you start cooking the food. I don't know why I came to this country. I don't know why I married this guy. Like that, if you keep on cursing and swearing, and then you start cooking dal, and when you serve that food to your family, and then you complain, they are not listening to me. It is natural. How you serve the food is very important. With what attitude you cook. That's why olden time our families, when our grandmother, mothers, when they enter into the kitchen, they put on Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama and all that. Listening to that, they cook. Why? Because that will add sanctity to the food. Now, our Sai Baba used to give a story, it's a beautiful story, that, one lady invited a sannyasi for bhiksha to her house. It was a lunch time. Maharaj went and started eating. She served him in a silver plate and silver glass, silver cups and all that. And then after serving for some time, then she was sitting there. Then after some time, she remembered that she has to get something from the kitchen, so she went away. At that time, this Mahatma thought that, hey, there is a silver cup, why not I take it? So he put it, so Mahatma always carries a shoulder bag, see. So he took it and disappeared into the shoulder bag. And then after eating food, etc., and she gave dakshina also, he blessed her and he went away. And after going for some place, suddenly he realized, what did I do? I should not have taken the silver cup. I should go back and give. Then he went back and knocked at the door, and she opened the door and said, I'm sorry, by mistake I took this silver cup. Oh. Then she said, no, I'm not surprised. She said, why? You are not surprised? Because my husband is a thief. So what food you ate is the stolen food. So that samskara has gone into the food. So naturally when that food the sadhu ate, he also got the tendency of stealing. So this is what the meaning is. So here also, the subtle part of the food goes into the makeup of our mind. So what food we eat is also very important. And that is why olden days nobody ate in the restaurants and all that. Because nowadays restaurants, how they cook, what attitude they cook, we have no idea. Now in our temples and all that, SV temple we have in New Jersey, and there all these brahmanas with all this patta and all that, they come and namam and all that, they come, muddy, will not touch anybody and all that. And Govinda, the namaskar, sashtam, namaskar, and have darshanam. Then next they go to the restaurant, order masala dosha. Now who is making it? A Mexican guy who has not taken bath in the morning. Such a person is making it. Now where is the muddy? No, muddy and all that. So that kind of food you eat, what happened to your mind? So this is how our mind gets disturbed. And so our Shastra, if you understand, you will be able to appreciate it. Then Rajas. Now Rajas is also very interesting. Kattvam lalavanatushta tishnaruksha vidahina ahara rajasasesta dukkha shokamaya pradaha. So the very word, the words used also is rajasic, Kattvam lalavanatushta tishna rasayana, all that. Kattu, bitter. Amla means lemon, that lime. Lavana means salt. Atyushna means like chili hot. Tikshna means that pungent. Ruksha vidahinaha, which burns your mouth. So like andhra hot chutneys and all that, avakai and all that you take. Bhagavan said you should have some chilies and all that. But ati ushnam is that too much should not be there. Ahara rajasaseshta, while eating you are crying. Ah, ooh, and all that. And afterwards also it will make you sick. Then yata yamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayate uchishtam apichamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Yata yamam. One yamam is 3 hours. The food cooked and kept 3 hours is considered tamasic food. So all our refrigerator food, frozen food, freezered food, all considered tamasic food. So we are all eating tamasic food only. Geta rasam, because once it is frozen, its rasam is gone, the juice is gone. Geta puti, puti means smelly. There are some people who like that smelly food, especially Chinese food. There are certain preparation they make, it is very smelly. They like it also. Parishutam chayata uchishtam api chametyam. Uchishtam here means whatever leftover, you see. It's a leftover. We are all eating leftover only most of the time. Uchishtam amedyam, in which is not good for offering Daivedyam to Bhagavan. Amedyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. So, old food which is cooked and kept for a long time overnight, such food is not considered sattvic food. There are people who like that food also. So, when you are in a tamasic mood, you will like those food. When you are in a rajasic mood, then you feel like asking for some, chutney, masala, those things you ask. When you are in a sattvic mood, you will ask mild food. So that is what it is. So then, then Bhagavan talk about the Yajna. Rituals also, sattvic rituals, rajasic ritual, tamasic rituals. So this is also Bhagavan's case, that sattvic ritual is they perform, that this is to be done, he will not expect any result, or he is doing as his dharma, duty. Rajasic people, Yajnas, are expecting result and they want something, that is why they perform it. Tamasic Yajna is without any shraddha. He doesn't have faith because somebody has told them, father has told or mother has told, he is doing it, and he will not give any proper, the dakshina to the priest also. So, and he will tell that, so he has to go to the office, so he has to do the shraddham for his forefather, and he is in a pressure time, half an hour only, and he will ask the Panditji to jaldi karo. And then what Panditji will do? He will solo all the mantras. The Purusha Suktam, first line and then last line he will say and then finish it off. And mandrahinam, vidihinam, then that kind of a yajna is called tamasic yajna. Then Bhagavan talks about the tapas. Tapas here is shariram tapas, vak tapas, manasam tapas. Devat Dvija Guru, you have this now. Devat Dvija Guru Pratnya Pujanam Shaujam Archavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsacha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. So, tapas, physical tapas is pujanam. Pujanam is number one. Deva, Dvija, Guru, Pratnya, Pujanam. So, Deva means gods. Whatever you are, Ishta Devata, you worship. That is the daily worship. Dvija means Brahmanas. Guru means your own Guru. Pratnya means wise person. That Dvija Puja means you don't have to do puja, at least respect them. That is the idea. Guru also respect them. Pratnya also, wise people have respect for them. Shaucham, purity. So physical purity and mental purity. Arjavam, again straightforward. Brahmacharya means discipline with reference to indulgence. Ahimsa, non-violence. This is called shariram tapas. Then anudveka karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayate swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva Vangmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvegakaram vakyam. Vak tapas. This is the most important aspect of our life because we use our words very loosely. Then we'll get into trouble. So he says, when you speak, you should see that you should not create agitation in the mind of others. Anudvegakaram vakyam. At the same time, you should speak truth. But while speaking the truth, there are so many other instructions also. It should be priyam hitam. It should be pleasing to that person and it should be beneficial to that person also. All these four factors are to be taken into consideration. So, anudvegakaram vakyam, satyam, priyam, hitam chayate. For that, what is necessary? Swadhyaya abhyasanam. One should continuously, every day, read our scriptures. That's why Vishnu Sahasranama chanting and Lalita Sahasranama chanting or Parayanam, Ramayana Parayanam or Bhagavata Parayanam. These are all very important for our the Shuddhi, Vak Shuddhi. Say, Vak Shuddhi doesn't come with tongue cleaner, okay? The Vak Shuddhi comes with only with Adhyanam, so Parayanam. So our in Himalayas, if you go from Rishikesh to Haridwar to Rishikesh, somebody is walking. So if you ask a Mahatma, how far is from Haridwar to Rishikesh? They will say, you chant 6 times Vishnu Sahasranama, you will reach there. Because they continuously chant Vishnu Sahasranama wherever they go, whatever they do. Why? We ask, why are you doing? You are all paunche huye Mahatma hai. You already reached there. Why are you chanting? He said, Vani Shuddhi ke liye. So to purify our tongue, we have to practice this. We should not give up that sadhana. So that is called Vak Tapas. Then Manaprasada Saumyatvam Maunam Atma Vinigraha Bhava Samshuddhirtedat Tapo Manasamuchyate. Manaprasada, a cheerful attitude. Manaprasada. It is not that a long face all the time. Why are you like this? Janam mein aisi hai. By birth I am like that. Not like that. You don't have to carry the whole burden of the world on your face. So be cheerful, happy. Because if you are happy, you will have friends. So it is said, if you laugh, the world laugh with you. If you cry alone. Nobody will be with you. So Manaprasada, Saumyatva means gentleness. Gentleness about your way of carrying yourself. When you walk around, don't make too much noise. When you sit also, pull the chair and then in a very rough way and pull it and make so much noise and then sit, padak, sit and all that. And when you open the door also, there must be a gentleness about it, the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you talk. These are all etiquettes we should follow. It is Saumyatvam, Maunam, Atma Vinigraha. Maunam means mental silence. So, not agitated mind all the time. It is quiet mind. Atma Vinigraha. It is not like Maunam here, it means Mauni Baba. So, a person who doesn't speak, that is not what is meant here. That such people comes a problem also. Because Mauni Baba, 30 years he never spoke a word. How do you know? But then he comes to your house, you want to offer him coffee or tea, you ask him, Baba, chai pai, you want tea? Then he say, some mudra he will show. Then you are confused. Such people are proud. Better he speak We are not talking about that kind of maunam here. Here is mental quietude, silent mind, maunam. This comes only with atma vinigraha, self-control. Bhava samshuddhi, shuddha vichar. Thought should be pure, pure thought. All the time thinking about doing that or this to somebody. So, taking revenge, etc. All the thing, how to take revenge of that person, this person, he has insulted me. This kind of thought, instead of entertaining that, think about something noble. Bhava samshuddhi. Ittedat tapaha manasam uchyate. These are all at the level of the tapas, at the level of the mind. Tapas means conserving energy. So we have so much energy given by the Lord. Infinite is the energy. That's why you see your little children, 2.5-year-old children, you see what energy they have. And now you wonder what they eat. They eat nothing. You may think it is all the orange juice and Coca-Cola they are drinking. No, it's not that. You also drink that and see what happens. Nothing happens. Why they have so much energy? Because they have no disturbing thoughts. Their mind is so pure. You also make your mind so pure, you will also enjoy that energy. Because Bhagavan, who is infinite, he is right behind the mind. He is ready to give you that energy, but we deny that energy by deflecting that energy. That deflection is what the problem is, which is our disturbing thoughts. So therefore, this conserving energy is called tapas. And that conserved energy, to give a direction to the energy, utilizing to the right channel, is called yajna. That is called yajna. So like you build a dam and that water should be irrigated. But through a channel it is irrigated so that it will be useful for the agriculture, etc. The same way, the energy is conserved through tapas, and that energy is used for the right purposes. Then Bhagavan talk about 3 type of dhanam. Datavyamiti yat dhanam diyate nupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha tat dhanam sattvigam smritam. So there are 2 schools of thought, that dhanam should be given to the right person, right place, etc. That is one school. Another school say that whatever that is, you just give. Whoever asks you, if you have the money, you give. You don't have to. Like they give example also, the mango tree, it doesn't see whether is the right person taking the mango or wrong person taking the mango, whether he is a crook or a noble person, both mango tree gives. The same way the waters are flowing in the river, a tiger drinks, a lion drinks, or a deer drinks, the river doesn't make any differences. The same way, whoever asks, you should give. That is one school of thought. Now, Bhagavan's opinion is what? He says, Datavyamiti yat dhanam diyatenu anupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha tat dhanam sattvigam smritam. You should see the right cause. You should see the right cause and right person, desha, right place. Desha also, there are certain places you go, like pilgrim centers, etc. you go. And certain time, that the grahana kala and all that, such places, dhanam is to be done. Then patram also, the right person you should give. Suppose he is a drunkard, a drug addict, you gave money, then what happened? You are encouraging him to continue to be in that situation. So that you should not do. This is the opinion of Bhagavan. So such dhanam is considered satvikam, and it is given what he call anupakarine, without expecting anything in return, not even a thanks. That is called sattvic type of dhanam. Dhatavyam, this is to be given, and I should give this. This is a good purpose, good cause. I should give this. With that attitude, one should give. This is called sattvic type of dhanam, and he never even worry about it. Yattu pratyupakarartham phalamuddishya va punaha diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam rajasamsmritam. Yattu, that which is given with expectation of applause and appreciation and recognition. And we are not saying it is wrong, but some people want recognition. Give that. It is better than not giving. Diyate cha pariklishtam. So the one who gives with all pomp and show, making the photographer stand there and take picture and then publicize in the newspaper and all that, that type of dhanam is called rajasic type of dhanam. Then adesha kale yaddhanam apatrebhyascha diyate asatkritam avatnyadam tattamasam udahritam. Now, when you are fundraising for ashram and all that, we go to some houses. The house looks very big club, Sergi hai. So we think that he will definitely give some good money. So we will go there, and that person make you sit there, he give you coffee, tea, etc. And then, Swamiji, I tell you, so many people are coming to our house for donation. And I am the only one. How can I give for everybody? So since you have come, I don't want to send you back without anything. Then he will give me at $11. So with all kinds of lecture. Half an hour he will give a lecture. And listening to that lecture, you feel, why did I come here? You feel miserable. And afterwards, when you get that money, you feel like returning to him. Thank you very much, sir. So that kind of dhanam is called tamasic dhanam. Asatkritam avatnyatam. Giving some insult. Insultingly giving. That called tamasic dhanam. So, adesha kale, at the improper place, apatrebhyascha, not deserving people, diyate asatkadam avatnyat. Now, so, yajna, dana, tapa, karma. These three is considered very auspicious. Everybody should do it. Now, 18th chapter, Bhagavan is going to say that. Yajna, dana, tapa, karma, natyajyam karyameva tat. So, even if you are a sannyasi, one should do that yajna, dana, tapa. These are all three things one should do. Now, it categorized as sattvic, rajasic, tamasic also. So, everybody wants to do sattvic dhanam, sattvic yajna, sattvic tapas. But what happened? We are not always in a sattvic mood. We are sometime in a rajasic mood, sometime in a tamasic mood. Now, sometime when you are in a tamasic mood, somebody come and ask for donation, you will give tamasic way. But afterwards you regret it. Then how to atone that? How to make it proper? Now the prachitta also Bhagavan gives here, very beautifully given. There, Om Tat Siddhi.
Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshaha
Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshaha.
ब्रह्मणस्त्रिविधः स्मृतः ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च
Brahmanastena vedascha.
यज्ञाश्च विहिताः पुरा
After giving the dhanam or performing yajna or performing tapas, if you think that I have not done properly, then what you say? Om Tat Sat. That is all. Why these shabda, it is called Omkara Chada Shabdascha Dvaveto Brahmana Pura Kandam Bhitva Viniriyatau Tasmat Mangalika Ubhav. So it is a Mangala Vakya. Omkara Shabda is Mangala Vakya. So also Tat Sat also is considered Mangala Vakya. So therefore, you say Om Tat, say, and after that, after Yajna or Dana, that whatever commission or omission is there, it is all nullified, neutralized. All the defects will be absolved. The last one.
अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत्प्रेत्य नो इह
The bottom line is, Bhagavan is giving, whatever is sacrificed, given or performed, and whatever austerity is practiced, without faith, it is called asat, O Partha. It is not helpful for here or hereafter. So, whether you are doing puja properly or improperly, it doesn't matter. That was a question of Arjuna. It doesn't matter. What is necessary is you have to do it faithfully. With faith, firm faith, if you perform worship, ritual, yajna, or dhanam, or tapas, all of them you do with complete faith, then that is considered sattvic dhanam or sattvic tapas or sattvic yajna. Otherwise, it is considered asat. Now with that, we complete the Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, 17th chapter. Then comes the last chapter, Ashtadashodhyayaha. Now Arjuna asked the question.
Arjuna uvacha Sannyasya mahabaho Tattvamichhami veditum Tyagasya cha hrishikesha Pritakeshi nishudana.
Arjuna said, see, similar question was asked in 3rd chapter also. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janatana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. So, you one side you praise karma, another side you praise jnana. Then why are you engaging me into this ghora karma called the war? In 5th chapter also, little modified, he asked, why not I take sannyasa as a sadhana? Now the same question is asking here also, but little more modified. That is all. But still that thought of sannyasa has not gone out of his mind. So, see, there are some people, when they get stuck with some idea, and whatever you try to convince that person, he will listen to you all right. After 2 hours listening, he will come back to the same thing. Swamiji, but I was telling you this, So this is the same way Arjuna also. Arjuna is also calling Bhagavan, oh mighty armed. Mahabaho. Because Arjuna was called Mahabaho, but here Arjuna is also calling Bhagavan Mahabaho, mighty arm. I desire to know the essence of sannyasa. What do you mean by sannyasa? And you also use the word tyaga. Tyaga means, dictionary meaning is abandonment. If you look at the dictionary meaning, tyaga and sannyasa, meaning is the same. Now, what is the difference? Now, Bhagavan gives a definition here.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kamyanam karmanam nyasam Sannyasam kavayo viduhu Sarvakarma phalatyagam Prahustyagam vichakshanaha.
See, Bhagavan said, Kamyanam karmanam nyasam. Giving up desire prompted activities is called sannyasa. Actually, giving up your ego is called sannyasa. So, ego nashaha, ahankara nashaha is called sannyasa. And what is tyaga? Giving up the result of action is called tyaga. But actually both are egoless state. Then Bhagavan gives Yajna dana tapah karma. It's there.
Yajna dana tapah karma Natyajyam karyameva tat Yajno danam tapaschaiva Pavanani manishinam.
If you read Ramayanam, Valmiki Ramayanam, and if you look at Bhagavan's Ramchandraji's Dinacharya, it is so beautiful that he always performed Sandhya Vandanam. So, Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narashardhula Kartavyam Devamanikam. This is the verse from Ramayana, where Vishwamitra ji was taking Ramchandra ji and Lakshmana to his ashramam in Siddhashrama. And on the way, they spend the night on the banks of the Sarayu Nadi. Next day morning, before getting up, Vishwamitra was waking up Rama. So this is Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate. So early before the sunrise, you get up and do Sandhya Vandanam. So throughout Ramchandraji's life, you can see that Bhagavan himself is Lord Vishnu. He doesn't have to do it, but he set an example for our life. The same way, Lord Krishna's life also, Dinacharya is given in Bhagavatam. He used to get up early morning and then do the freshening up and then sit for meditation. And after meditation, then he will take a bath and then do puja. Worship whom? Himself only. But still he did that, and then he does the rituals, some dana or dachina, etc. he gives. He calls brahmanas and gives them dachina. Then only he will have his breakfast. So all those things are given to us. So it is all set an example. So that is why Bhagavan here in Gita, he says, Yajna, Dana, Tapaha. One should not give up. Whether you are a sannyasi or a grihastha or a vanaprastha, we should continue to this. Why? It is pavanani cha. Yajnadana tapakarma natyajyam karyameva tat. It is to be done. Yajnodhanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Wise people say that it will purify you. Because the mind get entangled with the world. Whether you are Jivan Mukta Purusha or Ajnani, whenever the mind is used in the world, it collects dirt. So it is to be purified on a daily basis. So Yajnadana Tapakarma is the best way of whatever little way you can do. Yajna, it doesn't mean you have to perform elaborate ritual. Even puja is fine. So modern time it is there. That is why in Dwapara Yuga only pujanam. So every yuga has got yuga dharma. So the Satya Yuga tapas is the yuga dharma. Then Treta Yuga Yajna was the Yagaraksha. That's why Bhagavan became Yagarakshak. Then Dwapara Yuga it is pujanam. And Kali Yuga, all the three are not possible. So what we do is namasmaranam. Kalau kanmasachittanam papatrivyopajivanam vithikriya vihinanam harer namaiva kevalam. So Harinama is considered the most important thing in Kali Yuga. So here, whatever way you can do in this time, so instead of elaborate ritual, perform only simple puja. You do it, and tapas, fasting and all that nowadays become a common thing for everybody. What is that? Yeah, so fasting also. Dhanam. Yatha Shakti, you should give dhanam. So these are all purifying things, so one should do that. Nyodhana tapakarmam. So there are some school, one should not give up Yajnadana Tapa. They are purifiers even to the wise. But some of them say it should be given up as all action can bind a person. But Bhagavan says Yajnadana Tapakarma, one should not give up. So even if you are a sannyasi, you should do it. Why? Because as a sannyasi, you get also involved with the world and your mind get polluted. How do you purify yourself? So such penances are required. Bhagavan says, this is my opinion. Then the reason also he gives, nahi deha bhrita shakyam.
Nahi deha bhrita shakyam.
Nahi deha bhrita shakyam.
Tyaktum karmanya sheshatah.
Tyaktum karmanya sheshatah.
Yastu karma phalatyagi. Satyagītyabhidīyate.
So this is a summary of the 18 chapters. So you see, Bhagavan is now come to the third chapter. So he says, embodied, nahi deha pradashakyam tektum karmanya avsheshadaha. Embodied person cannot indeed totally renounce activities. As far as we have a physical body, we have to be active. Even what you call for the maintenance of the body, we have to be active. As long as you are living in this world, you have to do something or other. Third chapter also Bhagavan said, even for the maintenance of your body, one has to be active. If a person becomes inactive, then others will become active around you to take your dead body, to bury him. Whereas that person who has given up the result of action, no more dependent upon the result for his happiness, such a person is called Tyagi. So, it is not that he will not do activities, but he is not dependent upon the result of action for his happiness. The very doing itself is joy. Then Bhagavan enumerates so many items, all in 333. So, the topics that he discusses, Jnanam, also Sattva Rajas Tamas, Jneyam, also Sattva Rajas Tamas, Paritnyata, also Sattva Rajas Tamas, Karanam, Karma, and Karta. These are the 6 items Bhagavan enumerates in 3-3-fold. 3 means Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Then finally Bhagavan gives Sukham also. There are 3 kinds. Look at this. Sattvic Sukham, Rajasic Sukham, Tamasic Sukham. What are they?
Yattadagre vishamiva pariname mritopamam tatsukham satvikam proktam atmabuddhi prasadajam.
Yattadagre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam. In the beginning it is like poison, but later it is like nectar. That kind of sukham is called sattvic sukham. Early morning getting up is difficult for some people who sleeps late. Okay, 1 o'clock you sleep, you have to get up 3:30, is very difficult. But once you start getting up early, you find you can accomplish a lot of things during the day. Yogasana also, beginning difficult. Shishasanam, Mayurasanam, Kukudasanam, all these are all difficult. But once you start doing it, slowly you will find you are able to do all of them. So this is called sattvic type of sukham. Beginning it is difficult, but slowly when you continue do it, it will become easy and it will give you lasting joy. Then Rajasic sukham, Vishayendriya Samyoga.
Vishayendriya samyogat yattadagre mritopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukham rajasam smritam.
Even music and dance, etc. also, it is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. And sattvic music, you know, all the classical music, etc. It is all sattvic music. relating to Bhagavan's stutis. But Rajasic music, Bollywood music, than, thum, than, and all that. The tamasic one is still worse. So, Vishayendriya Samyogat, interacting with the sense object, with sense organs, there rises certain happiness. But in the beginning, it is wonderful. Rasagula, gulab jamun, and all that when you eat, it is Vishayendriya Samyogas. That Vishaya's object come in contact with your Indriya's tongue. That is a joy. But later on it gives you problems. And later it gives you trouble. Joy is temporary. Every joy, sense pleasure is temporary. But bondage is permanent. The addiction becomes permanent. The first coffee in the morning is so good. But what happened? It makes you slave, isn't it? That bondage is permanent. The more you do it, the more bondage gets deeper and deeper. This is called Rajasic Sukham.
Yadagre chanubandhe cha Sukham mohanamaatmanah Nidralasya pramadotham Tattamasamudahritam.
Yadagrecha anubandhecha sukham mohanamatmanaha. Tamasic pleasure is that which deludes you in the beginning and the end. Like drug addicts' pleasure. What is that? In the beginning and they are all in a sleepy, lazy, and also never listens to good advice. They will give you advice. Such type of mind and that type of sukham is considered tamasic kind of sukham. Then this 18th chapter is a summary of the entire teaching. Next topic, Bhagavan gives the 4 castes with little more details. I have given you the explanation to these 4 castes in the 4th chapter. So I am not repeating that again here. But final conclusion of the Lord is important. After saying that, what he says, Sve Sve Karmanya Bhirataha.
Sve Sve Karmanya Bhirataha. Samsiddhim labhate naraha. Swakarma nirata siddhim. Yatha vindati tachrunu.
Sve Sve Karmani Abhirataha. So according to their temperament, if they choose activities and perform those activities strictly following their temperaments, that will become an aradhana, worship of the Lord. You don't have to look at somebody, they are doing that, let me also do that. Not necessary. Whatever that you can do, whatever little that you can do, you follow that according to your swabhava, nature, temperament. And then you will contribute to that particular area. And that way what happened? That becomes an aradhana for the Lord. So, sve sve karmani abhirataha samsiddhim labate naraha. So, karma niratas siddhim yatha vindati tashrunu. For example, people got Nobel Prize. Think of their history and story. They took up one path, maybe a topic of research or whatever. They pursued that path and devoted their entire life for that. Because of that, they achieved something. Therefore, they are recognized. Whatever job the providence has given you, it may be small, do it diligently, sincerely. Each one has come with some talents. You pursue that particular talent. Don't try to copy others. That will not work. Lord has given you some work. Do it with sincerity. That itself become a great worship to Lord. Listen how one can perfect with such devotion. Even if your duty is not that great, let us say washing dishes, etc. But if you continue to do that with Shraddha, that I am serving my Lord, that itself will take you to the goal of perfection. Why that job has come to you? Because the Lord has given you that job for you to exhaust your vasanas. That should be the understanding. Now, continue. Chetasa sarva karmani.
Chetasa sarva karmani. Mayi sanyasya matparaha. Buddhi yogamupashritya. Machchitta satatam bhava.
How am I shift myself to be God-centered? Now we are world-centered. How am I going to shift myself to God-centered? He says, mentally offering all actions to the Lord. Matparaha. Lord alone is the supreme goal. Nothing else is going to satisfy you. Only reaching the Lord alone, you will be totally satisfied. All of us are seeking the Lord only because we all want permanent ananda. The source of that permanent happiness is the Lord. He is Ananda Swarupaha. So, resorting to Buddhi Yoga here means Karma Yoga. So, practice Karma Yoga and be devoted to Bhagavan. Karma Yoga means offering all your activities as a worship to Lord. Why? Bhagavan says in the 61st verse, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam.
Ishvara sarvabhutanam.
Ishvara Sarvabhutanam.
Hridesherjuna tishtati.
Hridesherjuna tishtati.
Brahmayan sarvabhutani.
Brahmayan sarvabhutani.
Yantrarudhani mayaya.
Yantrarutani mayaya. Finally, Bhagavan says, Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam hriti. Hriti deshe he Arjuna tishtati. Lord Ishvara is residing in everyone's heart. So you are not ordinary person, okay? You are not a little person. What is this? You are carrying Bhagavan all the time. That's why Shankaracharya said after Atmatvam Girija Matis Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham Pujate Vishayopabhoga Rajana Nidra Samadhistitihi Sanchara Patayo Pradachina Vidihi Stotrani Sarva Giro Yatyat Karma Karomi Sattva Sagilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. Bhagavan, Atma, my Antaratma, O Lord Shiva, it is you. Atma Tvam Girijapati. O Girijapati, Lord Shiva, you are residing in my heart as my Atma, consciousness. Sahachara pranaha, all the breathing, that Pancha pranas, prana, bana, vyana, samana, udana, all pranas are sahachara, the attendants of Lord Shiva. Prana, shariram, griham. The temple is what? This physical body is your temple. Pujate vishayopabhoga rachana. And what is my worship to you? All Vishaya Bhogas I am offering you. That is my worship. If when you are enjoying the worldly things in this world, if you consider it is an offering to Bhagavan, then what happened? You will eat only those things which are worshipful, isn't it? You will select. Nidra Samadhi Sthitihi. And when I go to sleep, that is like Samadhi. I come back to you. Every sleep is what? We are going home. We are going to Bhagavan. Nidra Samadhi Sthitihi. Sanchara Patayoho Pradakshina Vidihi. When I walk around, I am going round Pradakshina to you. Stotrani sarva giro. Whatever I speak is stotram, him unto you. Yadyat karma karomi tattatagilam. Whatever I do is tavarathanam. Shambho tavarathanam. Worship of you. That is the attitude. That's why Bhagavan says, Ishara sarva bhutanam pradeshe. What else you want? Bhagavan himself says, I am residing in you. You know, during this COVID time, 2 years I was stuck in the ashram. So I used to go to the temple. We have a Radha Krishna. So I go to Radha Krishna, in front of Radha Krishna, I stand there and every day ask him, Bhagavan, when are you going to give me darshan? Keep on nagging him every day. It went on almost 2 years. And one day, when I stood in front of him, suddenly a revelation happened. He said, I am ever present in you. What is there for me to come in front of you? I am with you all the time. Now, this is what Bhagavan said. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. If this verse, if you understand, all our problem will be over. Whenever you are suffering, remember, Lord is watching over me. Brahmayan sarva bhutanam yantrarutani maya. And he is the one controlling, governing with the help of Maya. And this awareness is there, our ego will also get surrendered. People ask the question, how can I surrender to the Lord? Surrender comes only when you appreciate there is a higher power behind me. The higher power is controlling, governing us. This appreciation, when it dawns in us, He is watching everything. You can cheat others, but not Him. He is the one controlling in us. Whatever going on in our life, it is His will. We are as though like a puppet in His hands. Therefore, Bhagavan said, Tameva Sharanam Gaccha. Sarvabhavena Bharata. Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarvabhavena Bharata. Tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsasi shashvatam. Therefore, take refuge in Him, and with His blessings, everything becomes easy for you. So then Bhagavan says, continue. Manmana bhava.
Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijjane priyosi me.
Arjuna, therefore, manmana bhava. Arjuna, let your mind think of me. Mat bhaktaha bhava. May you become my devotee. Mat bhaktaha bhava. So, may you think of me, become my devotee, sacrifice for me. Matyaji bhava. So, whatever ritual or puja you doing, you worship me. Tyaji bhava. No sacrifice is sacrifice because the gain is infinite. Prostrate to me. Prostration represents surrender. Then you shall definitely come to me. Pratijane priyosi me. Mame vaishyasi satyam te. Bhagavan says this is true. He promises. Pratijane priyosi me. Bhagavan, you can understand how much Bhagavan loves Arjuna. I tell you this because you are very dear to me. Now, the last verse in the teaching part, Bhagavan's words, Sarvadharman Parityajya.
Sarvadharman parityajya
Sarvadharman Parityajya
Mamekam sharanam vraja
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja
Aham tva sarva papebhyah Mokshayishyami ma shuchah.
Therefore, Arjuna, my advice is that give up all your dharma. Dharma here means samanya dharma, vishesha dharma, general duties and occasional duties. All of them you give up. Why? Because param dharma is important. I talked about this earlier in the second chapter and talked to you about Bharata's story. So, what is our param dharma? Is seeking the Lord is our param dharma. Then this particular portion is there in Gopika Gitam in Bhagavatam also. When all the Gopikas listening to Bhagavan's flute, they assembled there. And Bhagavan, when he stopped his flute and looked around, he saw he's surrounded by 16,000 girls, gopis. And he wondered and he said, hey, everything is okay in Vraja. What happened? All of you came. Why are you here? And then please go back. It is the dark night, and then it is vanam also. Some wild animal will be roaming about, and your parents, your husband, your family will be worried about you. So please go back. And then, as a Pativrata Nari, your duty is to take care of your husband, children, and family. And you leaving them all, you have come to me, which is not proper. So please go back. All these things he started advising. Now, Gopikas got disturbed. What is this he is telling now? And then they start arguing with him. He says, Bhagavan, you are asking us to do your duties. Now, what for one should perform duty? So that if you perform your Samanya Dharma, Vishesha Dharma, you practice Nitya Naimitya Karma and Vishesha Dharma. So then the Kamya Karma, all those things you perform. What for? With Ishvara Aradhana, with the worship of Lord, etc. Then what happened? You get Mandakarna Shuddhi. Isn't it? Purity of mind. And with that purity of mind, what we should do? We should seek God, isn't it? Now, that is what we are doing. We have left everything and come to you now. And we have come to our God. And then the God is telling me to go back. No, we are not going to go back. So, that is called Param Dharma. So, that Param Dharma we should never forget. So, entertain the thought of gaining Param Dharma, and all other Dharma, you leave it to me. Then Bhagavan will take care of our Samanya, Vishesha, all that karmas, etc. So, seek refuge in me. To attain that, Lord, what is the path I should take? Take the help of Bhagavan only. You don't take charge. I will find God. You start walking. No. Take the help of Bhagavan. Bhagavan will guide you. He will take you to the right Guru. And when you fall, he will lift you up again. So allow him to guide you. If you think you can do it yourself, the Lord will leave you alone. He will be a witness, upadrashta. He is a decent guy. He won't interfere with you. Aham tva sarvapapebhyaha mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. I will liberate you from all sins. Sarvapapebhyaha. So the papi will be totally disturbed. So papam we can destroy through prayachita karma. But papi will not be there. Papi will be always there, continuously doing. But that papi is the ego. That ego has to go. So only through surrender, papi, the ego can be destroyed. So please do not grieve. So Bhagavan started with Ashocyan Anyashochastam Prajnavadamscha Bhashase in the 2nd chapter, 11th verse. Ashocyan, do not grieve. Now here also Bhagavan concludes the teaching, Ma Shuchaha, do not grieve. So all dharmas mean physical, emotional, intellectual needs. When your thoughts are lifted to gain the highest goal, all lower thought gets subsided. Now it is something like you thought of getting a doctorate or PhD. Then what happened? Your party going stops, picture watching movie will stop. Suddenly you become Mahatapasvi, isn't it? Everything restricted, even eating will be restricted because you don't want to sleep too much, you want to read. Why? Because you have a higher goal. So too here, when your mind is lifted to discover the Lord, to find that Lord, then what happened? All our lower need, physical, mental, intellectual need will get subsided. I will remove all your sins means in the surrender, the sinner is totally destroyed. That state is called moksha. Mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Again, Bhagavan gives some more advice. Finally, he asks Arjuna, I have given you my teaching. Now, yathechasi tatha kuru. Whatever you think fit, may you do it. Look at this freedom, the large heartedness of our teachers. They never bind the student. They make the student free. In fact, they make the student as equal to the Guru. That is our tradition, our Sampradaya. Our Sampradaya will be able to make a Shishya equal to Guru, as great as Guru. That is the greatness of our Sampradaya, this Guru Shishya Sampradaya. But a mystical Guru cannot make another mystical Shishya. That is a problem. So, only in our tradition, this is possible. So, that is the confidence. Bhagavan, yadechasi tata kuru. So, Bhagavan has that confidence that Arjuna will not do in his teaching. That if he has understood what he has taught, then he will never do anything wrong. So, that confidence is what is shown here in the side of the Bhagavan's words, yadechasi tata kuru. Whatever you think fit, may you do it. Lord gave Arjuna the freedom to choose. Lord has confidence in his teaching that he will choose correctly. Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
Nashto moha smritirlabdha.
Nashto moha smritirlabdha.
Tvat prasadan maya chuta. Sthitosmi gata sandeha. Karishye vachanam tava.
Now, Arjuna must have picked up his Gandiva and arrows from the chariot. Now stood up in the chariot. Confidently he says, Nashto mohaha. My delusion has gone totally. Smritirlabdha. My memory has come back. I am a wholesome person now. Tut prasadat maya achyuta. Because of your grace, O Lord, I have got my memory back. I am no more deluded. There is no more doubt in my mind. I shall karishye vachanam tava. I shall do as per your wish. I will follow your words. Bhagavan, look at this. Bhagavan never changed the outer world. What he changed is the inner thinking of Arjuna. You don't have to change the world to be happy. That is what the science has been trying to do all the time. They're trying to beautify the world. But then what happened? With all air-conditioned comfort, we become sorrowful. A beggar's sorrow and a rich man's sorrow, both are same. There is no difference. So you change yourself and look at the world. This is the teaching here, that Bhagavan never said, when Arjuna collapsed, he did not go to Duryodhana and say, today Arjuna is not feeling well, why not we postpone the war for tomorrow? No, he never said that. He changed the thinking of Arjuna. That is what happened if you study Bhagavad Gita. Your whole outlook of life changes. That inner vernier adjustment if you make, you will see a different world. In the same world, you will be able to have better intake of happiness. Now, last verse. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishnaha.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Tatra Shrirvijayo Bhutihi. Dhruvani Tirmatirmama.
Wherever is the very Lord of Yoga, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, the very Lord of Yoga, Krishna is there, and wherever Partha is bow and arrow. Now Partha represents here a person who is dynamically active. Lord Krishna represents the spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge alone is not enough. It should be applied in your day-to-day life dynamically. That is what is represented by Arjuna. So wherever this spiritual wisdom is, and along with dynamic action is there, there will be prosperity, victory, and happiness. So that is why someone is very good in advice, but never practice what they teach. Yoga is practiced in Western countries than in India. You see, we are exporting that also. Here Sanjaya concludes, where the spiritual wealth is there, coupled with dynamic action, there revels prosperity, victory, and happiness. This is my firm conviction. Whatever Gita teaches, we should practice. Only then the beauty of Gita transform your personality. So this is the conclusion. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita so Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purusha Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadashodhyayaha Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyaha Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. Krishnarpanamastu. Thank you. With this we conclude the 18 chapters. With your complete cooperation, patiently listening. Thank you for patiently listening all the 7 days. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om everyone. Thank you so much for attending this wonderful Jnana Yajna for the past 7 days. I wish I can say Nashto Moham Swamiji, but I have a long path still to go. But hopefully we had like a small percentage of Moham, that is, we can say Nashto Moham after listening to this for these 7 days. I wanted to share a small anecdote Swamiji shared with us, Satish and I. Swami Tapovan Maharaj, who is Gurudev's guru, Swamiji, when he was traveling to Uttar Kashi, I mean, obviously in those days the travel was extremely difficult, and he was walking by feet, I mean, like there's nothing, no transportation. One time, Swamiji evidently was extremely hungry, and there's nothing around, and Swamiji at that time, most of us would be like, obviously we won't even be there, but if we were there, we would be saying, oh my God, I'm hungry, what will happen? There's nothing around. But Swami Tapovanji's question in his mind is, how is Bhagavan, what is Bhagavan going to do as a miracle to treat my hunger right now? So that is the kind of Shraddha like these Mahanubhavas have in God. Obviously that's the Shraddha that made him even give up everything and travel all the way to closer to God to pursue that path. So that is what Swamiji has been alluding to as Shraddha or faith, that we all need to incorporate into our lives. And I think most of us are convinced, as Swamiji has enumerated through all these shlokas, the underlying virtue is that Shraddha. Obviously, so we all hopefully can incorporate that Shraddha in Bhagavan and kind of follow through, continue to study Gita. We have a lot of copies of Gurudev's Gita. We have DVDs of Gurudev. Please reach out to any of us if anyone want to pursue. Obviously Gita is available by several other missions too. Doesn't matter which one, but I kind of say that we all should continue to practice this. So Swamiji that told us that. But one other thing I wanted to tell you is, Bhagavan has come to us, to Pittsburgh. Amarnath has come to this temple in the midst of all of us. And so that is the Bhakti Yoga. We have Karma Yoga. We can volunteer in any place, in the kitchen or for Bala Vihar, anywhere. So that will give us the Karma Yoga part. We have Bhakti Yoga. And of course, the Jnana Yoga portion, the Swamiji's, we are planning to have at least 3 or 4 or even 5 Jnana Yajnas conducted here and in our ashram in Monroeville, Sanjeevani, all these Jnana Yogas. So, so that is the culmination, right? We do our Karma Yoga through Bala Vihar, in the cafeteria, anywhere in this building, clean up, everything is Karma Yoga here. And then go to Bhagavan and ask him with lot of bhakti and shraddha to give us all that strength. And Bhagavan will give that purified mind, and we can come and listen to Jnana Yajnas like this, and hopefully we'll slowly inch our way towards our ultimate goal, which is that peace and happiness in our minds all the time. That's not like the end point of our lives, but trying to get that peace and happiness every day. Like Swamiji said, whenever we go into our deep sleep, we are getting closest to Bhagavan. But we wake up and then come back into samsara. But when we wake up, if we have this knowledge embedded in our mind, hopefully we maintain that peace even during the daytime. So that is what, with the Swamiji's blessings, hope this whole group can follow that path. One thing I wanted to announce is, just now we confirmed with Swamiji in February, Swamiji is going to come and do Sampoorna Tulasi Ramayan in Sanjeevani. That ashram has Hanumanji and Ram Parivar and every there. So that's where we decided to do Tulsi Ramayan, an appropriate location for that. So please keep your calendars open. This is the vacation that's worth it. Like if we say there is 5 days Jnana Yajna, please put those days as vacation. I understand, I also have a job, I may not be able to sometimes, but try. We will give advance notice that you can plan it. So please attend the Jnana Yajna, the same format. In the morning we will do Tulsi Ramayanam Parayanam and Puja, and in the evening we'll have a discourse. And maybe we can even have some more entertainment that will entice everyone to come and watch also. So please consider that. Now I will invite Satish to come and do the vote of thanks to Swamiji as well as Ponnagaru, who helped us with all the pujas and everything in the morning.
Thank you, Visala. Hari Om, Swamiji. The first thing I want to do is to thank Swamiji for coming here. But not just coming here, he could have done a one-day Jnana Yajna or a weekend or one chapter. But he, of course, oh, sorry. But he decided, he chose to come for a whole week to stay with us, to make this an event, and to cover the entirety of Gita. And why would someone like Swamiji do this? Only out of compassion, only out of love for us, to help make us better. He has studied Gita many, many times, but he comes here for this length of time to help us, to elevate us. And for that, I thank Swamiji. Our Shastras are so beautiful. The message can be conveyed in hundreds of mantras, like in Chandogya Upanishad. Or they can be conveyed in a single sentence, like Tattvamasi. And if you're in a big rush, you can get the message out of a single word, a single syllable, Om. But no matter what is the length of the Shastra, no matter what is that length of the number of words involved, the only way to get the message across is through a guru, a teacher, a master. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the master, Sri Krishna, gives that message to Arjuna by distilling all of the teaching of the Upanishads into 18 chapters and 700 verses. What has happened for us? We're so fortunate that Swamiji has distilled the message of Gita for us over these 7 days. He's helped us understand the structure of Gita. We understand more about the outline of it, the flow of it, how it represents the expansion of that Mahavakya Tattvamasi. We understand those things. But also, Swamiji has brought Gita to us personally. Right? So this is not some academic understanding that Swamiji has given us. It's a personal understanding, a way of bringing Gita into our own lives. And he's done that by showing us that Gita is not just some treatise. It is a treatise, by the way, but it's not just a treatise. It's also a personal guidebook for us. Just as Sri Krishna effortlessly talks about karma yoga and upasana and bhakti and jnana, as Krishna effortlessly looks at all of that, Swamiji was able to effortlessly take Krishna's teaching and combine it with anecdotes and stories. If you were here, you remember the story about the young bride who had her first sip of champagne, how Swamiji described that to us. How he talked about the miser who, when given the chance, he asked Lord Shiva for 8 annas, or half a rupee, when he could have asked for the whole world, right? Those are the stories that Swamiji effortlessly combined with the verses of Bhagavad Gita. In short, what Swamiji has done, he has made Gita real for us. And now it's our job to take that teaching, that advice, that guidance, and try to make it personal, make it part of our regular life. But for all of this effort, for all of this compassion, I want to give my pranams to Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji. And in addition to thanking Swamiji, a few other things that we need to do, people that we need to thank. I want to thank Dharma Garu and Ponna Garu. Dharma Garu is not here, but Ponna Garu is, for the effort that they have both put in, the daily Krishna pujas and all the other effort they've put. With that in mind, I'd like to invite Ponna Garu here so we can offer him Dakshina. And of course, I would be remiss in not thanking Sheila for the beautiful chanting that she did for all of the verses that we heard. And we would not have been able to see or hear Swamiji had it not been for Shobhan and the incredible AV support that he's been giving us. Special thanks to Gopal, who made sure Swamiji could be here, driving Swamiji from New Jersey, and now today, in fact, driving him back. So much effort of driving back and forth. So we greatly appreciate that. All of us have had excellent food over the last week. Our Bhiksha team, part of the Ahara team, has done just a wonderful job, and of course we want to thank them as well. And lastly, but certainly not least, our audience. Without the audience, there would be no meaning to this Jnana Yajna. So thank you for attending. Thank you for your attention. And we want you to come to every event, every Jnana Yajna, but also every devotional event, every ritual that we have. So please keep this Chinmaya Mission Pittsburgh on your calendar for all of these events. So with that, we'll conclude our word of thanks. And I'll ask Visala to make just a couple of announcements for us.
One last thing, as we are concluding this, I got a good news that Swami Ramakrishnanandaji was able to find a 3-day window, Swamiji, in November. So they are going to confirm it. We are working on it, and they said they are fully booked, but probably we did something right here. So Bhagavan said, okay, you will have 3 more days of Jnana Yajna. So I will post the actual dates. If you guys have heard Swami Ramakrishnanandaji, you won't miss this occasion. We will let you all know as soon as we know the dates. So the next steps are, we're going to conclude with Aarti. We are going to do Gita Aarti, followed by Krishna Aarti, followed by Gurudev Aarti. And then after that, Swamiji will come and have sit in the asan here. Please, all of you can make a line and come and take blessings from Swamiji. And then we will proceed into the cafeteria for our lunch.
Could we invite our sponsors, please, to come up to help us with the Aarti?
जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिः कमलविहारिणि सुन्दरसुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मर्म प्रकाशिनी कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञान विकाशिनी विद्या ब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते निश्चल भक्ति विदायिनी निर्मल मलहारी शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनी सब विधि सुखकारी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते राग द्वेष विदारिणी कारिणी मोद सदा भव भयहारिणी तारिणी परमानंद प्रदा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते भासुर भाव विनाशिनी नाशिनी तमरजनी दैवी सद्गुणदायिनी हरिरसिका सजनी। ओम जय भगवद्गीते। समता त्याग सिखावनी हरिमुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी। ओम जय भगवद्गीते। दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय। हरि पद प्रेम दान कर अपनों कर लीजय। ओम जय भगवद्गीते। मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की मंगल प्रीति रीति दोन की मंगल आरती। मंगल कांति हसन दसनन की मंगल मुरली बीना दुन की मंगल वनिक त्रिभंगी हरि की मंगल सेवा सब सहचर की मंगल आरती। मंगल सिर चंद्रिका मुकुट की मंगल छवि नैनन में अटकी मंगल छटा पबी अंग अंग की मंगल गौर श्याम रस रंग की मंगल आरती। मंगल अति कटि पियरे पट की मंगल चितवनी नागर नट की मंगल शोभा कमल नयन की मंगल माधुरी मृदुल बैन की मंगल आरती। मंगल वृंदावन मग अटकी मंगल क्रीडन जमुना तट की मंगल चरण अरुण तरुवन की मंगल करनी भगति हरिजन की मंगल आरती। मंगल जुगल प्रिया भावन की मंगल श्री राधा जीवन की मंगल चरण No, I don't think it's there. It's okay. मंगल आरती मंगल आरती। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की। चरणों में उनके शांति समाए शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की। वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया, शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की, आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। सिद्ध बारिकी तपोभूमि में, नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे, भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की, आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं, नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः, तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं, तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
So just a last minute surprise announcement. The pictures that we took 2 days back, that was a trial picture. We really wanted to see who comes on the last day. So for today, we'll make it much more easier. All of you can sit towards the middle. Swamiji will also be seated here. Very quickly, I'll be able to take a picture from the stage because it'll be good to have this view as well. And then after that, Swamiji will be seated here and all of you can come take Swamiji's blessings and offer Guru Dakshina and take prasad as well. So please feel free to sit here, maybe in the chairs, in the center section as well. In this section, if everyone can be seated, that will be good. So everyone can be seated here in the chairs. Oh, this is fine. You guys are good. And maybe the kids can be seated in the front. Shobhan, can we have all the lights possible? Very nice. All the lights possible. Yes. Want to sit here? Wonderful. There are some slots there as well. If you can be seated there, that will be good. You can go next, yep. This is during our Bhagavata Saptaham. Swamiji will remember that. This was during the actual Katha. We had a nice background that we had put. And this was during our trip to New Jersey with the Swamiji. This one, as you know, is with Puja Gurudev. It was during our Mahasamadhi camp. And this was during the Bhumi Puja with some of our volunteers, Sri Suresh and Srimati Sujana, with our puja team. This is how our temple looked last year. So many memories for us. This was the unveiling of Sri Jagadishwara, the meditating Shiva. This was during our Mahasamadhi camp. Thank you for everyone's patience. And if possible, let us not take pictures here with Swamiji. There's so many people, we all will proceed to the cafeteria.